talk about the NFL draft. Throughout this week, the last couple of days, just getting out of the gym, and I was watching the draft, and you see the typical when everybody's at home and everybody's talking about, the kid gets or the young man gets the phone call comes in, and the person says, "Oh, I've been drafted by this team," and the family around, they happy and everything, and they do this whole big hoopla what team they're going through. They show their highlights, stuff like that. So I was sitting there, I was thinking, it reminded me of life, like the life lessons that I learned about the NFL draft is many times people are sitting at home and they're watching other people glorify their success, a lot like social media, right? Everybody kind of does that, and that shouts out to everybody that does well with things that they're doing good at. But this is the life lesson I took about it, thought about. Hate to say it, no knock against an NFL player, person who get drafted. That's a great accomplishment. That's a accomplishment that only like the top 1% of athletes would get to. But here's the story. When I look at things like the draft, it reminds me of how life is. So many people, a lot of those people that was getting drafted in the first round, in the second round, or whatever, a lot of those people are going to disappear within a year or two. There's somebody who's sitting at home who didn't get drafted. There's somebody who's sitting at home who didn't get drafted, and there's somebody who is probably going to get drafted in the late round 10 or something. There's somebody who's going to walk on and become a star. It happens every year. It happens all the time. Majority of the great players or who goes for a long time are people who got drafted later in the rounds, right? But the thing about it, I look at it is that so many times people, so many times people sit back and they look at everybody's success and they wonder why does it not happen to them. And the whole thing is all flowers don't blossom at the same time. So many people right now, they're being seen, they're doing things that you're like, wow, why is that not happening to me? Why is this not going on with me? And it's just not your time. And people who look like they're winning today will not be winning tomorrow. So you always see I got a few NFL friends that played and stuff like that or whatever, and they always talk about their draft day, huge accomplishment. But a lot of the people who go off to be all pros and great NFL athletes, they're not the ones who got drafted up front, you know. So somebody say thought no, I'm getting ready to go to the gym here for a second. I just thought about it. I usually don't record in my car, but I usually record in my car if I just thought about this. I just thought about I was watching the draft and shout out to people. I said, man, that's like how social media is. Social media today, we see people, uh, you see everybody's highlights, and you're sitting back, even in the investing world, you're watching everybody tell them how much they made money over here, they made money over there, and they made this great investment or whatever, and you're wondering, why can't I get my break? Why is it not happening for me? So the thing about it is, always take the long road. It's a lot more I could do on social media, but there's a lot of things I do behind the scenes to go for the long haul. I'm always thinking about the long haul. So we look at this as you sit back and you wonder on your time, or some people, whatever it is in life, sometimes we wonder on our time of why things are not happening for us. And it goes to that old saying that grandma used to say, everything that don't, everything that shines, everything that's gold don't shine. However it go, y'all know what I'm talking about. Everything that looks good don't mean it's good, right? So whatever you're doing out there, as you see the world in life, just know that your time is coming. Your time will be around the corner. And just because somebody's looking good today, looking like they got it all together today, don't mean they're gonna have it together tomorrow. It's sad to say a lot of those guys that was being drafted throughout the week, shouts out to them, a lot of them are not gonna even make it. There you go, Lucas Marshall. Everything that glitters ain't gold. You got it right. There it is. Everything that glitters ain't gold. So a lot of those guys will not even play. A lot of those people that were drafted, they will go out and they probably won't even make the team that they was drafted for, right? So when you look at social media, a lot of the stuff is fake. People are only showing you their highlights. I mean, why would I tell you when I'm having a bad day or having a bad time? I wouldn't. Who wants to hear that? I don't want to depress anybody. So sometimes in life, that's just not how life goes. Life has its ups and downs. And when you're on your downside of you on your cutback time, you're watching everybody else looking like they got it together. No, that's not the truth. Everybody doesn't have it together. Just because you're going through something, don't mean that, hey, I'm never going to have my season. All flowers don't blossom at the same time. So I watched that and I said, man, there are people who didn't get drafted, who are not going to be drafted, and they're going to go out to become some of the greatest players the NFL has ever seen. And some of those people that are walking around with their suits and their ties and the family are happy for them, it's sad to say, a lot of those guys are going to get in the NFL and be trash, and they'll be gone within a year or two if they even play. So that goes with life. Sometimes everything may not come with you. It may not be your time, may not be your season, but be happy for everybody's success. Because just because you're not winning today, don't mean you will win tomorrow. And just because you are winning today, don't mean you'll be winning tomorrow. Be humble and enjoy life. Anyway, I gotta get going. Just something I thought about when I let y'all know. But until next video podcast cartoon, I'll be back here shortly to do some more investor show financial leadership content. But to the next video podcast, cartoon, or whatever else you see me do across the globe. Peace, be safe, I'm out.